we're a small county. We stay busy. We run about 5,000 medical calls a year, close to 1,000 fire calls and fire responses a year. We've been doing that with 3 ambulances and 2 engines for the last 10 or 12, 15 years. But back in 1977, this department was started. Mr. Arthur Ballot, his wife, I just went and hugged a few minutes ago. She's standing in the back. She needs to sit down for me. He helped to get this department started, and he run this department. He was the director in this department until, as best we can tell, somewhere in the area of 2000. I'm not sure exactly, but he managed the department. There was a lot of people involved in that. This department, the Dixie County EMS department, was housed at the Cross City Fire Station until 1991. When I was a little bitty boy, my dad was on the department. My wife's grandfather actually was a founding member of the department when it was established in 1953, William, I think, for the city fire department. But that EMS agency worked out of that little city fire station, and they stayed there until 91. In 1989, the second ambulance was put in service, Rescue 2. It was held in the 1st District EMS, or 1st District Community Center on 55A until the building was finished in May of 91. That building was placed on land donated by Mr. Joe Anderson. In 2001, Rescue 3 was established. It was held at the current Station 1 until 2004 when the building was finished. That's 3 ambulances, ladies and gentlemen, and that's all we've operated with since 2001 when that one was established. It's 24 years ago. The building that they were put in the 1st District was a donated forestry housing building. It was moved there and set up and remodeled, and that's what the crews lived out of until today. It was damaged during one of the last storms. We've had a few, so I don't remember which one it was, and we were able to actually get some appropriations money to rebuild that station. The land was just cleared last week, and it should be going out for bid, Kellen, next week, maybe? he nodded yes, so we're good. So that's moving along. But this station in particular is going to be staffed tomorrow morning at 7:30 with another ambulance in this county. It will be Rescue 4. It's the first time since 2001 we've added another ambulance here. My guys and gals don't sleep a lot, they drive a lot. They stay up at night and they drive back and forth to Gainesville. I see an older medic that's retired with us shaking her head with her eyes closed. She's made those trips. Thank you for coming, Saint. So this is literally history for the county. The other stations, the one in Cross City, any of you going north, if you'll look at our EOC, you'll see the building being built. It's up, it's painted, the bay doors are up, the ceilings are hanging. They're putting in cabinets this week, and we should have it open in about 4 to 6 weeks. So that'll be another station, but that's to house our existing crews. This one is a new truck. It's more help. We've got 6 positions last budget year added to our budget, and we're able to get those people on, and we'll have this truck running tomorrow. The one in the 1st District will be housing our current crews. The one in Horseshoe will still be a volunteer station for a bit, but it is being built to be able to hold staff. So there is future expansion in the vision. I don't know where these guys will carry it. I'll be gone when that's done. I'm into 37 years now. I was told that there was more to do, and I wanted to leave, and my pastor confirmed in a church service one morning that there was more to do. And so I'm still here, and then the governor extended the drop, and I'm still here. I hope he doesn't want to do that again. I really do. On the fire side of this, we were an all-volunteer department in 1988. When I got on, most of these departments that we have, the volunteer services didn't exist. The city department run most of the whole county. This particular district, the fire district, was the station that this replaced. If you have the handouts, you will see in the handouts a picture of the old building. That building was built in 1986 by volunteers and donations. The building was finished, as best we can tell, in 88, but we're not sure about that date. It was a 4-bay station. Since then, we've had storms that have destroyed 2 of those bays. So we were down to 2 bays, and they were not holding together real well whenever we asked for this building. And it was actually a nice day for Chief Garner and I to come out and watch the bulldozer go through the building. Chief Garner has some history here as well. Chief Garner's on my right. He's our emergency management chief. When this station was built, myself and Chief Tompkins over on the side, we put together some history, but we couldn't figure out who was who. But I will tell you, there was several people that were involved in this department being brought up. And this department was one of the first in the county as far as volunteer fire districts go, except for the city department. Mr. Dick Halverson, Alvin Buchanan, Lawrence Story, Michael Sprawling, Vernon Long, Chuck Smith, Myrtle Land, Dwight Petty. Those were names we pulled out of the magazines a few minutes ago with some of the old newspaper articles. Some we knew about, some we didn't. But those people were all well involved in the development of this building. They raised money off the spaghetti dinners and boot drives to build the building that we replaced here. And those people came up and you know, we don't know what ranks they held. I can't remember, my memory's shot too. But we do know in 1992, a gentleman moved here from Miami, Homestead. They got tired of Hurricane Andrew in particular. It was Chief Garner's dad, Oscar Garner. He came up, got involved in the department, and he became the chief of the department. He worked and retired out in emergency management up in Taylor County. When he left to go to Taylor County in 1995, Mr. George Tompkins, over on the right, sitting at the front table, became the volunteer chief for this district, and he managed this department until 2013. In 2013, Chief Spencer, sitting next to him, took over the volunteer district here, and he's managed it since then. So these guys have all been a part of this coming up and being what it is. In 2007, well, let's start back in our first staff fire apparatus. That was all volunteer. Our EMS service was here, our fire service was there. In 2009, Mr. Tim Alexander, sitting in the middle in the back here, was the director of the service. And he and I had a lot of conversation about losing volunteers and not being able to respond and having to change this. And in 2009, we staffed our first fire apparatus. We done it on a 40-hour-a-week situation, then we got into a deal with Taylor County. Yep, don't know what that is. Lacey. 2009, we staffed that station in Cross City with a 40-hour-a-week employee, knowing that we were fixing to come into an agreement with Taylor County. And then somewhere 9-10, we moved a crew to Taylor County. They put an EMT firefighter there, and we put a paramedic firefighter there and run an ALS engine because Taylor County had closed down their ambulance. And that started our paid fire staff. We worked them until, I don't know, a year or two. I don't remember how long, about 2 years in that station as a joint deal. And eventually they seen the call load and put an ambulance back down there and wanted the revenue. So at that time, Mr. Alexander and I moved the crews to town, our one paramedic firefighter, and we staffed a single truck, single man truck. And in 2012, we got the SAFER grant and hired 15. And in 2015, the community decided they didn't want to raise the fire assessment by $35 a year, and we laid off 9. And I told the guys, I said, it'll be a long time. We're looking at 10 years before we were recovered. That was in 2015. It's 2025, ladies and gentlemen, that's 10 years later. We now have stations 1, 2, 3, and 4 staffed. We're running 4 ALS ambulances, 2 ALS engines, an ALS squad truck. The department's moving, still got a lot of things going on. New ambulances, I've got 2 sitting in Texas we hope we get next month. New fire trucks. Outside one of these doors is a tanker that we have received appropriations for 2 years ago. Figured it might be fitting to have it here so Miss Lauren could see it. But with all of this being said, these stations and this history is being changed today because of the funding that was given to us through the state. Because we don't have any money in these buildings, ladies and gentlemen. This was all done through appropriations. One day I was having a conversation at a fire chief's meeting somewhere, I have no idea where, and I spoke to a gentleman who had a lot of knowledge of the fire service in the state of Florida, Mr. Julius Hollis. He's sitting at the front table. I don't even know what he was at the time. I think he was the director for the state fire marshal's office, but I asked him, I said, what is appropriations? And he said, this is what it is, and this is how it works, and this is what you need to know about it. A year or two later, we put in for a station, we didn't get it, and a year later, we put in for it and didn't get it, and we had the floods, and it got ugly around here, and me and him had some more conversation, and that's when we asked for these stations 3 years ago. He was on his way out. I'm trying to follow him, and I can't get there. His shoes were filled by Ms. Joanne Rice, the current director, sitting at the front table up here. Thank you both for coming. Lauren, thank you as well. We spoke to Senator Jennifer Bradley at the time, Representative Chuck Clemens at the time. They were our representatives and senators. The next year, I think it was the next year, they done the redistricting, and we lost both of those, and we gained Mr. Jason Schoaf and Corey Simon. All of those folks have been good to this county. They have helped my department in particular greatly. This is the results of that. I know that the senators and representatives, I haven't seen any. I know they're exceptionally busy in Tallahassee right now with all the legislative stuff going on. So we did not expect them to come, but we did send them invites. I know they're busy. But if it hadn't been for those folks and that knowledge that Mr. Hollis gave me, we wouldn't be here. We would still be in our little buildings with our beat up walls and tore up refrigerators. So a lot of things are going to change in this department in the next couple of years with these new facilities, including the light bill. I'm not looking forward to that, but it is going to change. But it's much needed. This building was built, we went with our current engineer that was on staff, Mr. Greg Bailey and Kellen Bailey. They drew the plans up for us and got it started, and Slack Construction won the bid, and they're sitting at the second table there. They've done a wonderful job. Lacey, y'all been great to work with. It's been a little bit coming, and we've had a lot of days down here trying to sort through things and figure out how we were going to do this and how we were going to do that. But we got it done, and it's really nice. I probably should get close to being quiet. I think I'm getting to that point. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that came, to everyone that had a part in this. We have one Mr. Jimmy Golden's our inspector. He was here every day. He had cancer surgery yesterday. Y'all keep him in your prayers. I think probably that's enough said. We're going to have dinner. We have sandwiches. I stayed up all night fixing them. So I wrapped them nicely. When we get done eating, I'm going to ask the pastor in a moment, chaplain he's my pastor and my chaplain, so I'm having to work through that. But I'm going to ask the chaplain to bless the food. I don't think we did outside. When we get done, take a look through the building. Just a general idea of the layout of the building. Exercise room, air compressor room, gear storage room, decon room up front. Some of that equipment, air compressor is not in. There's some things still coming, but that's the general layout of the building. Inside, in this door on my side, are the bedrooms, officer's room on the left, and I think there's 6 bedrooms down the hall, kitchen at the other end. Living area for the crews, laundry room, mechanical rooms, showers, plenty of bathrooms, showers, bathrooms, more bathrooms than a shower. And then on the front of the building is a separate area of the building that is going to be public access for our community paramedicine, our inspector, investigator, fire prevention. That will be separated from the daily living of the crews. So take your time, take a look at it. We'll open the building up and we'll turn the fans on so it cools down. Chaplain Wilcox is where? You want to ask Grace for the food?